talk with pastors all over the country, and it's super weird because pastors in the South, more red states, they're like, COVID. Oh yeah, it's like 2 or 3 weeks. I was like, we were in a state of emergency. A governor declared emergency.
Because you're in Washington State.
In Washington State for over 2 years. It was a gross misdemeanor to leave my house for months for anything that was deemed by the governor as essential.
Wow.
So,
and of course, religion is not essential.
Absolutely not essential.
Yeah.
And I think probably the turning point for me was you're trying to figure it out. You're like, this is crazy. They're telling us 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and it's been 6 weeks. This is nuts. The hospitals can be overrun. They're not overrun. I have people I trust in my church at hospitals saying, the whole thing, we're testing for positive cases, and if we test under 80 positive cases a week, they'll let us out of phase 1, which was total lockdown. He said, we had a guy come in last week with COVID. I test him 5 times a day, hoping to get a negative test, and the second I do, we can let him go. My manager came to me and said, you're miscounting. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, you only have 1 positive case here. And he says, that's because there's 1 person. How many times have you tested him? He's like, 36 times in the last 4 days. That's 36 positive cases.
Oh my gosh.
And so these are men I trust. These are men I had a dear friend who runs an ambulance business, and a dear trusted friend. His father was in politics all his life. He said, so we brought a guy in today from a head-on car collision, 36, and they charted it as a COVID death. Because we were told from a press conference in the White House that they're going to chart died from COVID and with COVID as the same thing. And so that's when we started realizing, like, this is not maybe what it seems to be. This maybe isn't like the Black Plague like we're being told.